good. And ultimately, they are leading to our destruction. And he's setting up a dichotomy, and he's a distinction between him, of course, and those who work in the world, those who are serving their own interests. They don't care about the sheep. They only care for themselves. And those shepherds, that they act as wolves and thieves. And they're coming to steal and to kill and to destroy, to take what's not theirs, to kill, to end life, to destroy what has been built, to bring down what God has built, to murder what God has birthed, and to take what God has given. And we've got to be mindful of that. We don't follow those forces. That I'm convinced, I'm persuaded deeply that God has designed that he wants us to live, and life that he's given us, the life that he intends for us, is not meant to break us, but the life that he's given us and he's called us to is meant to develop us to be the people who bear his image in this earth. He did not create us. He did not create this world and this life and placed us in it for life to be oppressive. I truly believe that God wants life. He wants us to live a fulfilled life. He doesn't want life to break us down. He doesn't want us to live life broken. He wants to live us. He wants us to live a life that is developing us, represent him in the earth. But sometimes it doesn't always feel right, that life, that God has created life and wants life to work for us. It doesn't always feel that way. We may know it. I may have this conviction, but it doesn't always feel that way. Right? It's frustrating to have something, to know something deep within you, that God's got something for you that's more, is exceedingly abundantly above all you could ask, think, or imagine, that God's got that for you. And you don't have it, and you're frustrated and you're exhausted and you're confused because you have these plans to make it happen, but it seems like doors are always being shut. Yeah, you got these dreams, right, of leading your family like Joseph, but sometimes your dreams land you in a pit and in a prison. You may have, like Nehemiah, rebuilding the wall in your life, like Jerusalem, and rebuilding the dignity of your people. But like Nehemiah, those dreams of rebuilding, it leads you to be ridiculed and resisted, to be insulted and opposed by those that have your best interest at heart. You might even be like the disciples, right? You might have dreams, right, of living a life and doing ministry like Jesus, opening blinded eyes and healing the sick and making change and helping people to come out of their dark times. But sometimes those dreams don't. You might be like those disciples. You failed chiefly, and you nearly caused the fathers in your life to lose their faith. Glory be to God. Yeah, we've been there. We know what it means to dream, and those three dreams don't manifest, right? And we get frustrated when obligations, they are stacking higher than our resources, when relationships, they fray and they break faster than they heal, when doors shut quicker than they open, and it feels like we are always rowing against the current that refuses to let us move forward. When there is a gap between what God intends and what we experience, there's this gap, there's this discrepancy, and we live in this place, right, of frustration and confusion and exhaustion, to the point that we've learned in this to be helpless. We've learned in this to settle for existence, and mere survival, instead of reaching to excel and to thrive in God's intention. That God still intends for life to work for you. God still intends for life to work for you. He still intends this, right? Life working for you doesn't mean that there aren't going to be struggles. Life working for you doesn't mean that there are not going to be challenges. It doesn't mean that it's going to be easy. It doesn't mean that it's not going to be something without hardships. No, Life working for you means you living knowing. Come on. Life working for you means you live knowing. Knowing what, Porter? Knowing that God is sovereign. Come on, I live knowing. I don't live feeling, I live knowing. I know that God is sovereign. I know that life working for me doesn't mean there isn't going to be struggles, but when I know that God is sovereign, I know that there isn't any struggle in the world that can cancel out God's intention for my life.